Hey everybody, Mason here, CNA Games. This is episode 6 of the Bulking Up series. How we doing? Appreciate you watching. Appreciate you clicking. Supporting the channel, support the store. Make sure, cnagames.com if you want to just, pay a little, give a little something back. Give us a little thank you. Let's look at the numbers. Let's go to inventory and check it out. Great. See if I can show you guys. 71,763. That's up. We're getting there. We're doing improvements. We're adding. Really starting to get the swing of things. Things really kind of falling in place here. You can see the counter is not as convoluted as it normally is. So we're getting through all these sorts, and we're not getting through, or we don't have a bunch of stuff sitting around. So progress is being made. The number is going up, and the discrepancy numbers are down, which is great. Kind of feels good. I think the last week worth of RIs was below 5%. That is barely passing, let's remember. And we got to keep going, keep improving, and make sure that we keep that number going lower and lower and lower. Ideally to 0. And I want to just say here at the top, appreciate everybody watching. Appreciate everybody, if you own a store or from TCGPlayer or you sell on TCGPlayer, all of you guys commenting and saying, hey, I do this, try this, and just people giving suggestions and encouragement even. Just, I appreciate you all so much. It really means a lot. One person I reached out because of this little series, and had him reach out and say, hey, I have a great way to make sure that your discrepancies is as close to 0 as possible. I was like, oh, really? Okay, I'll listen. And he said, just don't list anything that's not in your mint. Sure. Now, yeah, that would definitely work, right? That's definitely a plan of action that you could do. But yeah, unfortunately, for the setup that we have, that's not a solution. It's not a great thing we can do. We like having all of our stuff in inventory. We like having all of our stuff searchable, and for anybody to come in and just click and be able to search for whatever they need immediately, even if it's a 25-cent card, if it's a damaged, whatever, it doesn't matter what it is. We do like that, and we like having it categorized and in these boxes and just ready to be sold and searchable at any given time. That is a benefit and a bonus to us, and the customers, I think, like it, and that allows us to also put as many of these cards as possible on TCGPlayer through direct and be able to sell those cards to people. So thanks, Rob, and I appreciate you, Rob, for just chatting the other night. But that's Rob from RNG Games, also a YouTuber. Go and check out his channel. He's doing big things in a warehouse and all that stuff, so check him out. But that was his suggestion. So just one condition is just don't list anything that's not in your mint. Duh. But yeah, so that was a suggestion, and of course I appreciate Rob reaching out, and yeah, that would definitely work out for sure. But yeah, just not a reasonable thing that we want to do with the setup. It wouldn't be something that would work for us. But what else have I been doing? Really talking out and breaking to my guys about discrepancies, how discrepancies happen, the possible ways that they can happen. There's multiple ways of, does it happen when we buy a card? Does it happen when we put a card away? Does it happen when we pull cards and then those cards get issues? There's lots of ways that can happen, and I've been writing these little things, sitting down and trying to make little tips and guides and just little helpful things for my guys to make their job easier. And then if there's a problem, that we can go and find a solution for it. That's been the big thing that we've been trying to focus on today. And, really trying to hone in on, in the system that we have, we should not have any issues at all. Everything is tracked, everything is organized, everything is searchable. If something comes out of this box, it's either gets sold or is pulled. And then when we buy something, it should go in this box and it should never have any issues anymore. Obviously, that's in a perfect world, right? That's not how things always go. But with the system that we have, it should be relatively sound in how we put things in. So that's kind of the idea. And then if we're missing a card, what to do, what steps to do, double check places, look in the case, look in the boxes. If you check the near mint box for a foil card or a foil card in the near mint boxes, the non-foils, things like that, checking conditions. And then along the way, if we find an issue, to correct it, and then if we have a card of the same name, we go and check their system and say, hey, do we have this card in inventory? Maybe it was put in incorrectly or filed incorrectly, whatever. And then we can correct it. That's the big issue that we've been trying to hammer down, as far as just mispulls, things that are maybe a different type of foiling or condition, or not condition necessarily, but more so like borderless versus extended art versus retro frame versus all the different foil types and card frame types. That stuff like that we get dinged on a lot. And then if we send a normal version for a borderless card, and that borderless card is then in our box just hanging out and it can't be sold, right, which is never good. And then an order might happen for the other original card that we sent in error, and then we have 2 issues, and then we have 2 discrepant things that happen. Then I got a refund, and then we got to do all that stuff. It's not great. It's not a good way to do. So tracking those things down when they happen, making sure that if we are counting for all the cards that have certain names or certain types or conditions or things like that, make sure that we exhaust all our options, and then make sure that all those things are accounted for, because if there's an issue with one, it could lead to issues with the other ones. So that's kind of what we've been hammering down on, that kind of stuff. And I recommend, if people have the same issues, to do that as well. That's something that we've been trying to do. Sometimes it's successful, and we say, yes, this is the definitive source of this discrepancy. We can fix it, and then, there's no more issues going forward. But yeah, they really do. They can start to compound. And then you look in your case, like, this card isn't listed. What the heck? I haven't sold this, and all this stuff. And it was different conditions or different quantities and things like that just, add up after a while of just all these little mistakes stacking up on top of each other, which is not good. We want to be able to source that stuff down and then suss it out. And then you don't have to do audits. You don't have to do periodic checks, because you're doing that for every instance that there's an issue, at least in theory, right? So that's what we've been focusing on and trying to do, and kind of just honing in on how these mistakes are happening, and then we can identify them, and then we can correct them, or even track it down to see who was potentially doing it, and then see if they remember doing it, or what we can do to correct that. And then the other thing that we do, whenever we get an SCI back from TCGPlayer, these little guys, I have these little stacks of what they send back. This is near mint to damaged, and then we track that down, and I have my guys look at it to see whether they agree or disagree. Doesn't really matter, because TCGPlayer has the final word, right? But having them at least take a look and see, okay, yes, these are the types of things that are in moderately played, and then things that compare that to the lightly played stuff versus heavy damage stuff or heavy played stuff, and then kind of get an idea where in the a range, and kind of make a mental picture of what TCGPlayer is saying that these things should be. Again, we can go over those charts and graphs and numbers and all those things, but actual visual help and visual information that my guys can process helps out a ton, because it allows you to kind of discern faster types of conditions and things. A lot of my guys are taking, a little bit of time for every single card, and it's really working on trying to reduce that time to make it as efficient as possible, because if we have to go through and condition every single card, whether it's a 10-cent card to a $10 card, it really slows down. It can get to the point where it's not cost effective. So and that was a discussion that we had with our growth rep, Sam. Shout out to you again, Sam. Talking about, making this make sense and making this worth the time and effort that we're putting into it for the cheaper stuff that we are going to potentially just get dinged on and then drive or plummet our ranking down. So getting our guys more efficient and maybe making decisions there could be down the road. But for right now, just trying to get as many things through direct as possible. Today is Monday, so I got an RI that is 20 pages long. It's a huge RI. So hopefully we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, overall has been better, but slowly and surely kind of building up and adding to the inventory, making our numbers look better. That's the results for this week anyways. So hopefully we can stick with that and keep it going, because you know, all in all, this is a lot of work, a lot of refinement happening, but overall, you know, a good thing, a good practices that really, you know, it was like the Wild West in here when you were trying to put cards away and you just hope that people were doing it correctly. And now we have processes in place that we can hopefully correct these types of issues to stop things, mistakes from happening. So that's the main goal and the reason for all this. So it's stuff that needed to happen, but TCGPlayer just lit the fire under our butts to do it. So again, appreciate everybody watching, commenting, just even to say, hey, good work, guys, you know, stuff like that. I really appreciate you guys. It's been a fun series to kind of talk through the steps to growing our inventory, and then oops, grew too fast, and then kind of correcting that stuff. So that's what we've been working on. So hopefully it's interesting to you guys. Again, have any comments or anything down in the comments? I'll see you guys there. But again, have a good week. We'll hit it again next week and see how we're doing. Okay, later guys, bye.